Hi everyone, let's go over my bullish and bearish Elliott wave scenarios on Bitcoin, starting with the bullish scenario where we're looking for a finished wave 1 or A, 2 or B, and then continuation to the upside in a wave C or a wave 3, moving above the high of wave 1 or A. We're either looking at a finished wave B or 2, hitting the common target area as well for a B or 2 between the 618-786 taken from the low to the high of wave 1 or A, or we're looking at a bigger sideways corrective structure. Starting with the ABC scenario, where this is a wave A, a 3-wave B, and a 5-wave C, then in this case we're looking for an ending diagonal in a wave C, which means we still expect some more upside. In an ending diagonal wave C, all of the waves have to be a 3-wave structure. So a zigzag structure in a wave 1, also in a wave 2, looking to finish 3, then a wave 4, and a final wave 5, after which we then expect price to continue to the downside to new lows. Now, preferably, wave 3 here is going to stay below the 1-to-1 trend-based fib extension taken from the low to the high of 1 to the low of wave 2, sitting at 58.8k. It is not an invalidation. Wave 3 can be longer than wave 1, but it is not preferred and it doesn't help with the probabilities for this scenario. So if price does move towards the upside without a solid wave 4 zigzag structure to the downside and hits this level here, the probabilities will decrease for this particular scenario. The most bullish scenario is a multi 1-2. In this case, we count this move to the upside as a wave 1 and we have a finished wave 2 at the low. We then have another wave 1 in blue, a finished wave 2 in blue as well, and then look for another 1-2 continuation to the upside impulsively. In this case, the moment you break towards the upside and start a wave 3, you really want to see volume coming in. The most common target area for your wave 2 is the 05 to the 786 Fibonacci taken from the low to the high of 1, giving you a target between 56.6k and 55.6k. A minimum target generally is the 382 at 57k, and the 886 is a level you do not want to hit if you're looking for a wave 2 at 55.3k. Now preferably we still move down in a wave 2. There is potentially something to say about a finished wave 1 here and a finished wave 2 with on the lower time frames a flat structure A, B, C. However, if your wave 2 is already finished and we would move up in a wave 3, then you can see here that a price did not even retrace to the 0.382. And the 0.382 would be a minimum target for a wave 2. It is very rare for a wave 2 to not hit the 382, and actually that is rare for any structure, also for a wave B as well as a wave X. So preferably we still see price moving down in this more bullish scenario where we then aim for a wave 1 to finish right at the resistance area that we were looking for as well, the blue box here between 58.2k and 58.5k. We have a little bit of additional support, as you can see as well here, around the 786, which is the blue box, between 55.7k and 55.9k. And we also have the point of control of this range just below the 05, sitting at about 56.4k, which is also an important level of support. Now the scenario where your bigger wave 2 or B is not yet finished, so we're still talking about this scenario A or 1, but then a bigger sideways corrective structure in B or 2, well then we have to look for a sideways WXY complex structure. A 3-wave zigzag structure to the downside in a wave W, a 3-wave structure up in a wave X, and then we're looking for a wave Y, which has to be a triangle structure or a flat structure. Now at the moment I put the flat on the chart as that is a bit more common for a wave Y, and it's also too early to call a triangle in a wave A, B, C, D, and then a wave E. Preferably I only start talking about triangles when a wave D is in, so it's just not yet relevant. Now in a flat scenario though, your most common flat is an expanding flat where your wave B most common target area is between the 1.236 and the 1.38 Fibonacci taken from the start to the end of A, giving you a target between 59.4 and 58.9k. A less common flat structure is the regular flat, and the wave B target for a regular flat is where we are now, between the 09 and the 105, 57.8k to 58.3k. In both cases, however, your wave C target would be below your wave A, which is below 54.9k. Has to be said though that we don't have a lot of room towards the downside, because preferably we're not gonna take out the low over here, and we especially don't want to see the 886 hit. But then you can see we don't have a lot of space to the downside. Of course, a running flat is a scenario, 3 wave A, 3 wave B, 5 wave C, where wave C does not take the low of your wave A, but a running flat is the rarest flat structure, so therefore we can't give it the highest probabilities. So this is at least something to be aware of. The bearish scenario on the chart is a 3-wave corrective structure in an A, B, C, or a sideways double combo WXY. In both of the cases, we are looking for a wave B or X to finish. In other words, we then have a finished W, a finished X, and then we are looking to finish a wave Y, where either in wave Y we also again look for a flat structure ABC to move below this low, or a triangle structure A, B, C, D, E, and then afterwards we start the bigger yellow wave Y or wave C. And if we then finally look at the probabilities of the different scenarios, then on the 1 hour time frame the probabilities are highest for price to take out this high sooner or later and then take it from there. On the number 2 spot, we have a continuation of this range without taking this high over here, but instead take the lows first. The only way at the moment this is really possible from an Elliott wave point of view would be the bearish scenario, where we then have a wave W, X, and then a wave Y, where this wave Y is then going to be a sideways structure, not taking the high but instead move down towards the low. So we still have a lot of time before that potentially happens. And then on the number 3 spot, we have a direct move towards the downside to take out the lows. It is good to be aware of a potential more local move towards the 382 first, that is then taken from the low to the high, as currently with the uptrend over here we didn't really see a retracement yet, so that is something to keep in mind. I hope that this video was helpful or valuable to you. Please check out the brand new complete Elliott Waves Guide playlist I've made that shows you all you need to know about Elliott Waves. Thanks for watching and subscribing, and I'd like to see you at the next one. Bye bye.